Hello creatives, you're welcome to my YouTube channel again. This is David Gladness, and on this particular video I'm going to be showing you on how you can create the geometrical shape effect on your Pixellab easily, right? So yesterday I was scrolling on my Pinterest and then I came across some designs which I had to share it with my YouTube community and ask if they are going to be interested, and it turns out that a very good number of persons were actually interested. Now, in case you don't know what the geometrical shape effect looks like, you can see this effect that you are seeing that was used on this particular design. The same thing was used on this particular design. It is something that designers actually use, and I must say, if you want to use your Pixellab to create something like this, then you must be creative, right? You have to be creative enough, and I'm going to be showing you the simplest method, or I'm going to be showing you two different methods, because there are either two types of way people use this particular effect. For instance, you can see this particular type. This is a normal circle. You can see that this is a normal circle shape, right? But then you can see this one. This one is being like it's not really normal. There is a different kind of, like, it's more like a scattered circle. So please make sure you watch this video from the beginning to the end without fast forwarding, because I'll be making reference to some things, and if you should miss a particular step, you are likely not going to get a result, or you get a very poor result. So like you can see right here, I'm going to be showing you how you can create something like this, and also how you can create something like this. It is still the same process, but just a little bit of trick, right? A little bit of different. So I'm going to go to my Pixellab right here. Okay, I'm going to my Pixellab, and as you can see, I have a project opened up. I have a new interface opened up. Now the first thing I'm going to do is to bring in a circle shape. We are going to start with let's just start with something like this. Let's start with something like this. Now, if you should study this very well, this is just a normal circle, but then there is a kind of effect that was used. Basically, I think I once get this type of request from one of my YouTube community, right? Which he told me he tried using texture, and I was able to relate with what he was saying, based on the fact that even when I was starting out in graphic designing, when I came across that type of effect and I tried it, I was also busy using the texture to like achieve something like that, but it was not easy. Now, I'm not saying maybe texture cannot actually create it, but texture is going to take a very, very long time. Now, if you want to create something like this with texture, I'll be showing you that first, right? Let's take, for instance, I want to use a circle shape, right? Then let's just give this circle shape maybe a black color. Let's give it a black color so that you are going to see what I'm doing properly, right? Let's give it a black color. Yes, as you can see right here. Now I'm going to centralize it. Now let's say I want to like crop this out, right? I'll just do something like this. I'm trying to form a shape with that particular effect, right? So I'll copy this shape. I'll click on edit. This time around, I'm going to do something like this. The goal is just to achieve that curve edges, right? To achieve that curve edges. Now I'm going to my rotate to rotate it. I'm trying to show you, if you are to use you can see that, right? I've been able to create that particular effect. Now, like this particular shape. Now, I want to show you, like, if you are to, let's increase the size a bit more. If you are to use the texture effect, this is how you go about it. If you are to use the texture effect, right? First of all, I'm going to merge these shapes, these three shapes. Let me change the background color so that you will not be confused and you will see what I'm doing properly. Let me change the background color to like this. Now we are going to merge the three shapes together by clicking on this icon, and then I will merge them together. I'll merge them together, right? Now I'll go to my texture. I will go to my erase color rather. Click on erase color, and then you can see that it automatically erases the white color. Now, basically, like I said, if you want to use the texture effect, all you need to do now is just to go to texture. But then this shape is not done erasing. Let me just click on my gallery to select any picture for now. All right, let's just assume I want to work with this particular image right here. Now, once I tap on it, you are going to realize that it is still showing, based on the fact that those things have not erased. Those shapes are not erased. Let me show you from my layer. You can see that the shapes are still showing. They are still showing. It's not just the black that is showing. Now, how do we get rid of those shapes? We are going to position this at the middle, and then we are going to change the color by clicking on color and change it to maybe white, right? Now I'm going to copy it. Then I'm going to position that copied one at the middle as well. Then I will merge the both together. Now when we merge it, it's going to become just one shape. Just watch this. Focus on this. You can see that it has become just one shape. Now it is going to be easier for you to use texture, but then it is still not nice for now. Now, for you to work with this, basically all you need to do is to come to maybe, let me import a picture from my gallery real quick. Alright, creative, so as you can see, I just imported a picture from my gallery, which is this. Now I'm going to be hiding it for now. There is a point I'm trying to show you why texture is not going to work. If I should click on texture now to select that same image that I just imported, right? So let me just look for it real quick. Now you can see that this is the same image and I'm trying to use texture. But then you can see the way it's appearing on that particular shape. Except I try scaling it, which you can see is still giving me one kind of bad effect, which we likely won't like. And if we are to use something like this, we just have to manage it based on the fact that it is not going to fit in perfectly the way we want it to be. You can see that it is not going to fix in perfectly the way we want it to be. Otherwise, I don't think it is going to fix in. All we need to do now is just to do this, position it wherever we want to position it. Then we are going to repeat the same thing. Let's say we copy this, we add another image as texture, we position it around here. But then the image is not really going to be nice based on the fact that it is not going to have the type of feel we want it to have. I hope you understand. You can see even the image, the head is being cropped out. So texture is really not going to be nice. Texture is not going to be nice. But do not worry, on this particular video, I'm going to be showing you how you can still do this, that you'll be able to adjust the image to fit in to the suitable form by which you like. You can see that. You can see this is the texture method. But then how do you use the texture method? You can still use it even, right? You can still use it. Now let me quickly delete all this. Let me delete all this to remain just one shape. Now let's assume this is the shape I want to work with. I'll just go to the texture and delete it. Now you see this particular image that I imported. If you want to use texture, this is how you go about it, right? First of all, we are going to increase the size of this. Let's change the color to maybe a red color or something, or a black. Then you go to your opacity to reduce the opacity. Now when you reduce the opacity, you can easily increase the size, rotate it to whichever form you feel like rotating it to. You can see that, right? Rotate it to whichever form you feel like rotating it to. Now make sure it is still going to be the same way it is right now. Now what you will do is to go back to your opacity. You can see that means the inner part where it's showing in that particular shape, that pictures that are showing inside that particular shape is going to appear. Now what do we need to do? We are going to color, to remove the color to change it back to the normal color, right? Then we go to our opacity to increase it back. Now we are going to hide that shape. Now you see this particular image, we are going to save it in a transparent background. We are going to save it without messing up with the main position it is right now. So we are going to save it as image. And at the same time, we are not going to move that shape from where it is at the moment. That means we have to be adjusting, and that one is a very long process. I hope you get. You are going to understand now. That one is a very, very long process. Like, we will need to be adjusting and readjusting before we actually get what we want. Now, what do? We activate back our color. Now you see this, we can delete it because we don't really need it again. Then this shape, make sure it is still in the same position by which it is right now. Now you are going to save this shape as well in a transparent background. You are going to be saving this image as well in a transparent background. You can see that. Now you can delete it if you wish. Now we are going to be importing the image first. You can see that. So we'll click on relative size. Make sure you are using relative size to increase it to 100 so that it's going to be on the same position where it was before. Now we are now going to use texture. By going to texture, then we'll select the image we just saved in a transparent background, which is this. Now, by doing this, you can see that it is having a very, very good form. It is having a very, very good form. Now, how do you reduce the size? Maybe by, let's say I now lock it. I lock the image. I bring in a shape. Then I hide that shape. You can see. You can hide that shape. Then you now click on this icon to match them both together. With this, it is going to give you the kind of feel you want. And now we have the image. We can now reduce it, and then you can see it is really going to be annoying for you to try that again and again. Like, you have to keep doing it again. That is the texture method. So even if you want this image to be like black and white, you must have edited that image before you save it, which is really time consuming. So the second method I'm going to be showing you now is the best method or the simplest method I prefer to use, right? I would not advise you not to use texture, depending on which one you feel comfortable. But for me, I think I prefer the second method. Now, how do you use the second method? Like I've said, this one now, I can decide to like copy. Let's say I now repeat the same process, different type of images. If you have different images, I can repeat that process. Just position it whichever way you feel like position it. You can even adjust it as long as you are cool with it. I hope you get. So that is that as regards the texture method. Now, what is the second method? I'm going to be showing you 3 different methods. Please make sure you stick to the end of this video. And if you are liking it so far, make sure you give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you are yet to subscribe. Also turn on the notification bell so that you will get notified whenever I drop another design updates. Now, I'm going to delete this. I have shown you the texture method. Now, what is the second method? Let's bring in a circle shape again. Now, this second method carries the normal circle, like this one you are seeing right here. It's going to carry this particular effect you are seeing right here. So I'm going to do this real quick. I will increase the size to whichever I feel like using. Then I will lock it. This is the second method. Then I'll bring in a kind of shape to form a line. Then I'm going to be using a color that is not on the main shape I first brought in. You can see that, right? I will edit and reduce depending on how far you want the width of your line to be, right? Now you can copy it again and let's position it, let's centralize it. Then you go to your rotate to rotate this to angle 90, or you rotate it to either negative or positive 90, right? That is, we have been able to divide this shape into 2. Now you can go ahead if you still feel like dividing it, obviously. Like this now, I think this was divided into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, it was divided into 6. But let's just say we want to divide this into 8, right? I will centralize this again. I'll go to my rotate. Then this one is going to be negative, positive 45, positive 45. That is, we have divided it into 6. But then we are still not done. I'll copy it, centralize it. Since I want to divide mine into 8, I'll centralize it, and then this is now going to be negative 45. That is minus 45. You can see that, right? We have been able to divide this shape. What next? We are going to merge everything together. All right. Now, after merging them together, we'll go to erase color to erase the black. By clicking on erase color and activate, as you can see, it automatically erases the white color, but then we want to erase the black. So you can click on this color soccer icon to tap on the black color, then you click on OK, and as you can see, it has helped us erase the black color. That is, the lines you are seeing there now is the background. That is the background color you are seeing there. You can see that is the background color. It is no longer a color, right? So let's just say I want to use purple for you to understand better. Now you can see that the line is still appearing on our shape right here. So I'll just click on this, go to color and activate my color, then change it into a white color. Now I'm going to copy it. You can see that I have copied it, right? Now it is now to shape. I'm going to merge them together so that we'll be left with just that circle shape. We'll be left with just that circle shape. But then before merging it, something just came to my mind. If you are to achieve something like this, you can see that there is space at the middle. There is a kind of space at the middle. So if you want to achieve something exactly like this, then you yourself, before merging it, you make sure even before you added you merge the black, right? You make sure you add a form of circle as well, circle shape. Then it's also going to be like a black color, right? Then I'll position it at the middle. This is so that we'll have this type of space. This type of space you are seeing right here, we'll be having it. So we are going to like merge the both together, then we'll erase the black color so that we'll be having that type of space, right? It is so that we'll be having that type of space. So let's go to erase color, enable, we select the black, and it is going to erase the black only. You can see we now have that space. We now have that space. Now, if you want to achieve something like this, you can see that right here, the down part right here, this lady's image was being like, there is a space to show like where the lady can be fitted in. So we can as well do the same thing if you actually wish, right? So before merging it again, you can see the black is still there. Go to your marks. Just go to where you are going to see marks. Though I'm going to still create a video tutorial on how you can use the marks tool and the BZ tool effectively. So that is one of the reasons why you need to turn on the notification bar or check the comment section. There is a link there that will take you to my YouTube community on WhatsApp. From there, you will get notified whenever I upload a new video tutorial. But then before then, let's click on marks tool, because we want to erase these two down parts, we want to erase it so that we'll be having enough space, just like the space that was given here, this particular space that was here. So we are going to do the same thing. I think 2 is enough. So I will enable. Like I said, I will still be creating a proper tutorial on how you can use the marks tool effectively. But then for this particular tutorial, let me go to resize. I want to resize my marks. So for this particular tutorial, you can just focus on what I'm doing, right? Then I'll just tap on this mark icon. Then I'll click on this to adjust the parts which I want to like erase. Or you yourself, instead of using the marks tool, you can also use the eraser tool. They pretty work they work almost the same way, but in a different method, right? They work almost the same. The goal is still to erase. So you can use eraser if you do not know how to use the marks tool. So I'm trying to adjust this. All right, so as you can see right here, we now have enough space, just like this particular one you are seeing right here. We now have enough space. Now what next do we need to do? We are going to copy this particular shape, but then make sure you centralize it first. Then we copy it again. Then after copying it, we centralize it again. Then we'll merge the both together. We are going to merge the both together. Now we are left with just this particular shape. Now what next are we going to do? We are going to bring in another new shape. But this time around, we are going to be bringing in a shape that is not white. So you can bring in a square shape, right? Position it at the middle. Then the next thing is to move it to back, but then make sure this shape is maybe a color that is not on the main shape, right? Now we are going to merge the both together. Please make sure you follow me carefully. This video is really going to solve that particular problem, right? Now we have this. Now what next are we going to do? We are going to erase color, right? By clicking on erase color, this place, erase color, then enable. You can see that, right? It automatically erases the white. You can increase the tolerance. Then you can see that red color you are seeing there is the background color. Please don't be mistaken. That is our background color. You can see I'm changing the background color right now. So that is our background color. So that means this down part is reflecting from here. Now we are now going to lock it. Now the next thing I'm going to do real quick, I'm going to import my images. I'm going to import my pictures. So for this video not to be too long, I'm going to fast forward the video till I'm done importing those pictures. So for here, I think I'll be needing like 6 images. So let me quickly import my images real quick. You can use the same image and you can use different type of image. There is no problem with that. So let me quickly import images. Alright, so creatives, as you can see, I have imported some of my pictures right here. Now what are we going to do next? We are going to let me hide all these pictures. So I will start using them one by one. So let's start with this. Now for you not to be confused, let's change the color, since the color of the image itself is having. So let me change the color to like a let me change it to like a white shape, a white background. That is the color of my background. So now all you need to do now is to start positioning your images where you want them to be, right? I'll just position it right here. Then I'm going to move it to back. You can see that, right? I'll just position, then move it to back. Position, then move to back. It is that simple. Now you can see that there is excess. There is excess of images showing at the edges, because one image is not supposed to show from here on the second, but then there is no problem with that. Let's make another one visible real quick. Let's take, for instance, this particular one, right? Let me unlock it. I'll lock this. Now first drag it to the back of the shape, right? Now this is the image right here. I'm going to position it like this. I'll reduce the size. Sorry. All right, now you can see that there is an excess again showing from the edge of this particular one. So all you need to do is to go to max, tap on the image, go to max. Then we are going to be maxing out, right? We are going to enable. Please, if you do not understand how to use the max tool, stay tuned. The video I might be dropping next on my YouTube channel will be on how you can use the max tool properly, right? How you can use it for your designs, and you will understand how to use it properly. It's either you use the eraser or you use the max tool, but I prefer to use the max tool for something like this. So basically, I'm just trying as much as possible to max out the excess outside, and I think we are good to go. Now all I need to do is to click on out, so that the inner part is going to be made visible, then the outside part will be maxed out. You can see that, right? So we are going to keep repeating this same method. So let me quickly repeat the same method for the rest of the images. And okay, let me move this back. This is the image right here. Reduce the size, rotate it, position it around where you want it to be. Now to remove the excess, just like I did the first one, click on max. Position this node here, position the second node here, this node around here, and the second node here. Now we'll use this antenna like icon stuff to like crop out these things to make sure those lines are they're on the black spots, right? They're on the black spots. Then I enable, and then I click on out, so that is only going to affect the outside part. Yes. This is great, and as you can see, I've been able to do this repeatedly for 2 images. Now we are not done. For this video not to be too long, I'm going to fast forward the process, and then I'll just do the same thing I did for the first image, second image, and the third image. I'm going to do the same thing for the rest of the images till they fit in to the for the rest of the spaces, and then you are going to understand what I'm trying to do better. There is still one more thing you must do, so please continue watching for your own good, okay? Alright, so as you can see now, I am down to the last image I need to edit. So I'm just going to position it, just the same process by which I have shown you for the first 3 images. Now I'm going to move this to the back of the shape. You can see that it is that easy. It is that easy. Now we are done adjusting our images. Now, before I proceed with doing the next step, right? If you should focus on these particular images you are seeing right here, you can see this part is like black and white, the other one is not black and white, another one is black and white. This is very simple. They were just playing around the color filters. So if I want to do the same thing, all I need to do is to select the image by which I want it to be black and white. I'll go to my color filter and reduce the saturation. You can see that I'll just reduce the saturation, play along, like I'll just play around the effect, the saturation. I can reduce the brightness, increase my hue, my contrast. My hue, you can choose to leave it or not. Then let's say the next image. After doing this, let's say now want to add to the next image. So if I want to do the same for this, all I need to do is to go to color filter again, saturation 0, brightness. I can increase my contrast. Just play around it till you feel like yes, you are good to go. So the same thing applicable to the rest of the images. I hope you are now clear with that. So you can just do it the way you wish, like the way you prefer it to be. So when you have like you have play around the saturation the way you want it to be. Okay, let's make this balanced. Let's make it balanced, right? If we want this to be balanced, then I think this is one of let me unlock the images. Then I would like to edit this as well, since I want it to be balanced, right? I'll go to my color filter, saturation, my brightness reduced, increase my contrast, and yes, I think we are cool. Now if I want to save it, it is that simple. What do I need to do now? I'm just going to tap on this. Now you see this particular shape. We are going to look at a color that is not on these images. A color that is not on these images, right? That is what we are going to look for. So we'll go to color. We'll go to the shape, right? Go to color. Remember, this is just a shape. Let's look for a color. And I would say green is a very perfect color here. And we can say yellow too is a good color. But then let's just use green. Let me tap on plus. Green is not on the images, right? Green is not on those images. So let's just use a green color. Then we do this. Now what we are going to do next is to merge all the images together with this shape by tapping on this 1 2 3 4 5 6, then the image, and we click on OK. Then let's just wait for it to merge together. Now we are done with our effect. If you wish, you can actually save this, then go to photo room to remove the background. Like, you can save it, then you go to photo room or any removing. I have a video already on how you can remove the background of your images for free. 6 different methods of removing your background image, anyone you feel like using. The video is popping up right now on the top right corner. Just click on it. It will take you to that particular video on how you can remove images for free, the background images for free. So now the next thing I'm going to do is to go to my erase colors. I can just use Pixellab instead of saving it. So I'll use Pixellab, click on enable, then I'll click on this color sucker to suck out only the green color, and voila, we are good. You can see what you have been able to achieve. Now I can choose to now do whatever I want to do, like maybe add shadows. You can see that I can choose to add shadow. Can choose to add shadow to it. Okay, work with my offset X, reduce the shadow transparency, or you can remove the shadow, add stroke, whichever one you feel like using, right? Whichever one you actually feel like using. I can add stroke, then I position it the way I want it to be. Oh, the stroke is too much. Please, the video is not done. I'm still going to show you one more method, right? So I can decide to go and add the shadow now, since I have a stroke there. I can increase my blur radius. Then I can choose to, you can see it right here. So to reduce the excess space, I can just click on crop, and then I reduce the stuff right here. Or instead, you can just position this at the middle first before adding any shadow or anything. Before adding the shadow and the stroke. Before adding the shadow and the stroke, you can duplicate it, right? You can choose to duplicate it. Then when you duplicate it, match them both together. Match them both together, so that you'll be left with just that particular shape, right? So that you'll be left with just this thing, and the green will be off it totally. So from here now, you can choose to go and add whatever you feel like adding, such as the stroke. You can feel like anything you feel like adding, such as the stroke, and any other thing you feel is going to beautify your work. And then you import your image, just like the lady, the one we saw on the first design, right? So let's go import our image. You can see this here. I can choose to like position this here, then position this right here. You can see that, right? Just like this particular one you are seeing right here. This particular one you are seeing right here. You can see that, right? You can see that it's the same thing. The both are actually the same thing. You can see that. So we have been able to achieve this easily. Now the second method, the way we created this is a little bit different from the way you are going to create something like this, because the shape are not, you can see it is a little bit scattered. These particular shapes are scattered. So how do you achieve this particular one? How can you achieve this type of feel that this shape will be scattered? Because the method by which you are going to create this is different from the method by which you are going to create this. Because this one right here is what I just showed you now. You can see they are looking alike. But then this particular one, how do you go about it? It is still very, very similar to each other. Now, all you need to do in this case, let me just save this as project. Let me quickly save this as project. And let's say I want to save it as because it is called geometrical shape. Let me save this as 2. All right. So I'm just going to like go to a new project. You can see that. Then I'm going to bring in circle shape again. Then let's make it a black color. A black color, then position it at the middle. Now this time around, we are not doing too much. We just need to form the shape just like we did for the texture effects, but a little bit different. To form up that type of triangular shape we need, then we are going to form this like this. And I feel like this is actually nice. It is. You can see that it's just remaining that triangle. So not to cause confusion, let me change my background color to green so that you can see what I am doing properly. So we can now merge these three shapes together. Then after merging them, we go to erase color. Then we erase the white. You can see that. Now you can go to color, change the color to whichever color you feel like using. For me, I will choose to use white. Duplicate it again, merge them both together. It is that simple. Merge them both together. Then the next thing now is to start, like we are going to bring in another circle shape and increase it. Or better still, let's just use a square shape. Let's use a square shape, right? Then we are going to increase it to fill in the workspace, right? Now this square shape, let's make use of maybe a black color since it's not on the main distance. Then we'll move it to back. Now leaving us with just this shape. Now you see this shape right here. You are going to position it. I'm not doing too much again. We are going to position it the way we want it to be. Let me just lock this. You can position this way. Copy it. Rotate it. Position this right here. You can copy again, rotate, reduce the size if you wish, or just position the three things at the middle. I just position them at the middle so that we'll have enough space. You can copy again, like just play around the function the way you want it to be, like the way you want that thing to appear actually. Just play around it the way you want it to appear. It is that simple. So I'll copy this small one and then I'll put this small one right here. Let's increase the size a bit. Yes, I think we are achieving something already. So you can just play around the function, arrange your shape. That is what you need to do here. All you need to do is to play around the function and arrange the shape whichever way you want it to appear, right? You arrange the shape whichever way you want it to appear. Copy again. Let's increase the size of this. So you can choose to do it whichever way, like how many shape and whichever way you feel like you want it to be. Now let's say this is the geometric shape I want to form, right? Let's say this is the shape I actually want to form. Then all I need to do, just like we did for the first one, I'll first click on all these to position them, to centralize them, right? To centralize them. Now I'm going to merge them together with the black shape. I'm going to merge them together with the black, with the black shape, with that black square. Now what next? Okay, I think I left one out, so let me merge it together. Now what next? Just like we did for the first one, we just need to go to our erase color, then erase the white. Now the same process by which you were positioning the images, like I used in positioning the first thing, that is the same method I'm going to use right here. I'll start positioning my image at the back of each of those shapes, right? I'll start positioning it at the back of those shapes. Then I work on the saturation if I wish. If I want to leave it, I'm going to work on it. And I hope the same process, just do something like this, right? Take your time to form your shape and take your time to position it the way you want it to be. Just the same process by which we did for this first one. So you are going to be able to achieve something really, really nice. You are going to be able to achieve something as nice as this one you are seeing right here. This one you are seeing right here. So thank you so much for sticking around to the end of the video tutorial. I hope you have been able to benefit from it. If you have benefited, please don't hesitate to drop a comment and subscribe if you are yet to subscribe. Also give this video a thumbs up and turn on the notification icon so that whenever I drop a new video, you are going to get a direct update from your notification bar, or just check the comment section. You're going to see a link that leads to my YouTube community on WhatsApp, and from there you will be notified directly whenever I upload a new video tutorial. Don't forget, I'll be dropping a new video on how you can use the Max tool and the Bezier tool very soon. So stick around, and thank you for sticking around to the end of this one. See you on the next tutorial.